going on, Husker Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Scarlet and Cream Husker podcast. I am your host, Mr. B, Brian Knudsen. Today, joining me, Mr. KC, Kenny Cheatham, former Husker wide receiver. Kenny, oh boy, we got a tall task this week, my friend. Michigan coming to Lincoln. The Wolverines. Harbaugh's bringing them in, undefeated right now. As of this recording, ranked, let me take a look here, ranked 14th, but new polls haven't come out. That'll be tomorrow, I believe. So,
yeah, they might drop them in the top 10 after yesterday. So
they could, absolutely. Their game in Wisconsin and Camp Randall, 38-17. I mean, dude, they held Wisconsin to 43 yards rushing. This Michigan defense is no joke.
Yeah, they have a couple, I think quite a few NFL players on that defensive line up front. But it's Michigan. They're always going to get those kids. No surprise there.
Yep.
Certain schools are going to get those kids because of the notoriety of them and the brand. So there's no shock there. It's just about us being able to, or the offensive line being able to play well enough to contain them, to establish the run, and be able to get the passes off and give Martinez time. And I think it's going to be a good game. But they're on a hot streak. They're coming in with a little, a lot of momentum and a little bit of, how can I say, a little attitude, because they weren't
swagger.
Ranked. They weren't ranked coming into the season.
Yep.
And even when they were winning, they were still keeping them low in the polls. So they're coming in trying to do something, and we just got to, take care of our business on our side of the ball, and it'll be a good game.
Absolutely. I think this might be, in my opinion, since Frost has made the shakeup on the offensive line, and we saw against Northwestern, a hell of a fucking improvement there. So with this offensive line, this shakeup that's coming into this game against Michigan, looking at what they did against Northwestern, granted Northwestern's defensive line's nowhere near the caliber of Michigan's, but is this going to be a case where Frost got it right? He put all the players in the right positions, everything's set, and will this offensive line be able to hold their defensive line out?
I think so. I think, of course, they're not Northwestern, so they're going to get some pressure on Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
We just have to minimize the amount of pressure that we allow them to get on him offensively. But if we can establish the run, hey, watch a big boy run. If he can do something, and Amir does some things that'll open up the rest of the passing game, because we've shown that we can get the ball down the field. We have 3 legit receivers. I would say 4, include Martin. He's working his way back in, but I think we have 4 legit receivers and 3 to 4 legit tight ends on this offense, which we can spread the ball around to. So if we do that, we'll be fine. And we just need to minimize their pass rush, establish the run, not allow them to make us one-sided or one-dimensional. And then I think it's going to be a closer game than what people think. I think if it gets out of hand on their end, as far as them dominating us, it'll be because of our mistakes, and we let that happen. But I think it's going to be a closer game than what people think.
Yeah, and if you look at Michigan's secondary, what did they hold Wisconsin to? What was it? Wow, 167 yards in the air. I mean, they only allowed 210 total yards against Wisconsin. Now, we took some shots downfield against Northwestern because obviously our receivers just had more ability. They're faster than Northwestern's secondary.
Right.
Yeah, are we going to be able to really stretch the field on Michigan's secondary, though? Because they've got some more speed than Northwestern had.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can. I mean, this is just, honestly, this isn't, once again, I always tell people, I'm not a homer, not being biased. I think we can offensively create some problems for them with stretching down the field, as long as Martinez has the protection and he makes good decisions with the football.
Yeah.
But then again, that running game is, or the threat of a running game is what's going to allow us to do that and establish that. And then we put a little pressure on them, because we know what they're going to do. They're going to try to go over the top. They're going to try to run the ball. We need to make them one-dimensional, try to at least, and make them play how we want them to play somewhat. I mean, we were able to do it against Michigan State.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Walker, I think, what is he leading college in rushing?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It was ridiculous.
And we shut him down. So, I mean, we're capable of doing that. and hopefully Shanader, however you pronounce it, and
you
then
got it,
come up with a good game plan, to minimize that. And like we said, if we can get them to the dink and dunk and minimize the big runs from them, it'll be all right, because their touchdowns have been big plays.
Yeah, they live off it.
A bomb, the little running back, the one game where he was hit the hole, hit the corner, broke for a couple long runs. So it's not like from what I've seen, sustainable long drives and a touchdown. It's been big plays, boom, boom, touchdown.
Almost like Oregon.
Yeah. So we'll see.
And you brought it up, our running backs. We saw a breakout star against Northwestern and Jacques Yant, however you pronounce the last. Who gives a damn? The guy had an amazing game. 124 yards on the ground. Dude's 245 pounds.
A pound back. That's what you're looking for, another pound back with the change of pace back. I mean, you can always have that. Sometimes you need a guy that's running the ball, that's physical and bullying the defense with his physicality. You get what I'm saying?
Punish him.
He had a good game yesterday. And, I think it shocked a lot of people, surprised a lot of people, especially Northwestern, that this big dude's coming in there and he's getting these big runs. So,
yeah. Yeah, and come to find out, I guess he wasn't playing because he was overweight. Frost said he had to drop some weight before he was going to get his ass in there.
Makes sense.
Wow, talk about motivation. And he showed out. And
makes sense.
We talked about it in the last episode with Ramir Johnson and Yant. We've got almost like a thunder and lightning combination now in the backfield. And I'll tell you, that's something that really works out for teams. Now, I know you have advocated for the last matter of fact, since the first game, that we need an established running back, the guy. With a situation like we have now, an emergence of Yant and a thunder and lightning situation, does this work out in our favor instead of having that established guy?
It can, but you need to leave the position to 2 and 3 people, not 4 and 5.
Yes.
So you have your top 2 right now for what you want to establish, and that third one that you can put in. And then there's the fourth one's just going to be an odd man out. Sometimes you can have a 4th and 5th guy, depending on how well you're doing. I mean, we had that situation. We had Lawrence, Clinton, and Damon. And then when Amon came, it was Lawrence, Clinton, Damon, and Amon, and all those guys. We forget Amon was the 5th running back coming in. And then, then all of this stuff happened, transpired, which allowed him to be the guy. It was Lawrence, it was Clinton and Damon, and then there was Jay Sims, and then there was Amon. You know what I mean? So, so that's the 4. He was a 5th, yeah. So then you think Lawrence, the situation with Lawrence, unfortunately, Clinton played ASU, he got hurt. Damon played Pacific, and then he got hurt. Jay Sims, Amon kind of bumped him then, and then it became Amon that year in 95. So Jay Sims was the backup. So, as long as we're playing the guys and they're consistent, and like I said, you're not rotating 3 or 4 of them. Because think about it was Irving, Step, Morrison, Amir. That was 4 people going in.
And not knowing who's going to be the guy.
Yeah, where's the consistency at? So, I think if we can establish that, if these 2 are going to be your guys and other ones are coming in, then let it be that and then roll with that.
I agree. Yeah, we got to talk about Adrian. Seriously, the kid, since the first game of the season against Illinois, wow, what a difference he has made in all of these games, even the close losses to Oklahoma and Michigan State. And unfortunately, the big one mistake against Michigan State in overtime with the pick. But man, you can't deny that this guy's taken every amount of criticism thrown at him through social media, in public, even by me after the Illinois game. I said it was time to move on from the kid. And he really just told us all to shut the fuck up. I've got this.
Yeah. This is who Adrian is when he's playing well.
And healthy.
But it's like repeating the same thing. Because I say this every time. When he's playing like this and minimizing everything, he's exceptionally good quarterback.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, during his time playing, those things get overlooked because of the bad stuff. So as I was saying, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, we'll be okay. And my point I was making before the computer shut down on me is the thing with Adrian is that we've said it, you've said it, I've said it, we've all said it. Minimizing everything, he's an exceptionally good quarterback.
Yeah.
When you give him time, he can be a good quarterback. He still misses some of the passes, but no one's perfect.
Yeah.
But what's been lost in his great play and what people remember most, which then they forget about this, is the bad plays.
Yep.
The Illinois, the last year, like I said, against Ohio State, up in Ohio State, the fumble touchdown, the Northwestern game, the Northwestern fumble those things, or the Ohio State and Lincoln a couple games ago, and it was like interception, turnover, and they jumped on us. So those things are part of the reason we say, here we go again.
Yeah.
But when he doesn't do that, you say, this dude's really good. When he sits in there and gets it done. So it's that emotional roller coaster you're going watching and playing. So we have the good age and we give him time up front and we can run the ball to establish that. We don't have to gush him for 300 yards.
No.
But let's get be a threat on that and give him time and he gets those passes in. He can be effective. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
It hasn't been disputed. It's been decision making at sometimes in certain things that just make you say, oh, there it is. Like fortunately we got it back, but like the bad pitch yesterday.
That
was like, there it is. Or the backwards passes.
Situational awareness.
On the screen passes. I hate those. Maybe grit my teeth. That were thrown backwards. Was that last year, Illinois? The first play was the backwards pass?
Yeah.
And you said, here we go.
Yep.
The one in Lincoln, you said, here we go.
Yeah. It's
those things.
It's like you said, you remember it's just like playing poker. You remember your bad beats way before you're going to remember big wins you got.
Right.
And unfortunately, yeah, it's just a mentality everybody has. You could do 100 things perfectly. It's just right on the money. That one mistake, like in overtime against Michigan State, wiped out everything.
And even as a player, I remember the wins, but I remember the plays more that I could have done something better on.
Yeah.
I remember the plays I specifically the Michigan State game, my freshman year playing, and sophomore year in '96 with the reverse when I bobbled the ball and that. I remember the catch against Texas on the sideline when they said my foot was out of bounds. I've never watched that game. That was 98, 99, my senior year. The ball I tried to catch against U of A in the Holiday Bowl on the sideline, they called me out of bounds. The play against Kansas State in '96 when we went to Kansas State and a screen. I think they blew the thing and I kind of bobbled the ball, but they had called to stop the play first. You see, you remember those, and it's the same with him. And all the great things he's done, I'm not saying I've done great things like that. No, that's not what I'm saying. But people remember that.
Yeah.
Players remember those moments. You know what I mean? I know the worst game I played in as a player. It was Colorado '96, and we've talked about it. I hated that weather. I shut down. I mentally shut down that game. I played, but there was a lot of things I could have did better. And after that game, I didn't feel good about myself because I knew I shut down. So the thing with Adrian, going back to him, is he does a lot of things well. He does some things okay. There's things he can do better, but that's everyone. But the misses are what everyone remembers in regards to when he's had bad games. And that's where the criticism comes from. It's the misses.
Yeah. That's why I said after the Illinois game, I tweeted it out. I was like, dude, I think it's time to move on from Adrian. We're seeing the same shit. And then he comes out, ever since. And I think he's thrown, 2 interceptions the entire season so far. Knock on wood. Keep that going. Yeah, one in the Illinois game and
Oklahoma.
The one in overtime against Michigan State.
So 3 maybe? So 3.
He's at 3.
3. Oklahoma, Michigan State, and Illinois. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, he's been pretty on point.
We'll give him the one against Oklahoma. We'll call it a punt.
Yeah. Yeah.
A pin him down punt.
I think that's why I forgot about that one. It just because it didn't make a difference.
Right.
So, as a matter of fact,
it wasn't momentum changing.
No, it helped us more than anything.
Right. Or it hurt us.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a great punt to the 2-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
Hell
of an interception. Shank. Hell of an interception, though.
Better than the 7-yard shank and kick to the opposite side of the body. But in other news.
what was it Matt said last episode? If we don't talk about special teams, they didn't do anything wrong.
That's it.
And that's really how the season's been. All right. Now, the other side of the ball, our strongest part of the team, the black shirts, lights out really all season, minus really the Illinois game, just because of the amount of points they gave up. Man, they're going to have a tall task here again. What is it? McNamara, 731 yards passing on the season. Their running back, Corum, 521 on the season. And leading receiver, Johnson, 245 yards. They're pretty balanced. Harbaugh's got probably one of his most balanced offensive teams that I've seen him have since he took over at Michigan. Now, the black shirts, baby, is it time to can we really turn Michigan one-dimensional and make them throw?
I think so. I absolutely think so. It's the same with what I said with Oklahoma. I think it's going to be closer than what people think, based off the strength of our defense. Period. I'm an offensive guy. I don't like black shirts. So, don't let them tell you guys in the media and on their posts what they used to do. No, we used to hand them their ass in practice. So, we let them talk like that. That's just, who they are. You guys got to see their personalities. We had to mirror our coach. So, but I think so, based off the strength of the defense. I think they're going to come up, like I said earlier, with a good game plan to control them in the passing game, minimize the deep pass, try to minimize the running. And if our guys continue to play like they did, if they play like they did against Oklahoma and Michigan State, and offensively, we can play the way we did against Northwestern or Oklahoma, even Oklahoma, it's going to be closer than what you think. I'm going to say it's going to win, but it's going to be closer than what people think. I don't think it's going to be a rout like some people might think.
No.
This team, even if we give them the Oklahoma loss, like I said, at 5-0, they should be 5-1.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, and their rushing attack, it's no joke. They're almost 1,300 yards total on the ground. It's going to be a tough task. But then again, I said Michigan State was going to be a tough task to shut that running game down, and by God, they fucking did it. So there's no reason to make me believe they can't do this again.
Right.
Now they've got quicker receivers than what we saw against Northwestern. How's our secondary looking to match up with their receivers? Like you said, they like the big play. Are we going to be able to keep up downfield? And are we going to have maybe some spy coverage?
I think so. And I think we need to be physical with them at the line, depending on what type of defensive coverage he's playing. They'll get up there, but they're not. The physicality is missing, not based off the players, but it's due to the schemes that we're playing defensively. One of the things that I was used to seeing from, 20 some years ago when I played was our corners were always up in your face, even within the scheme in which we were playing. When we had the bigger corners, even Barron is smaller, because I got there with B. Miles and Tyrone Williams as the corner spot. So I had two dogs I had to go against every week. So and then you had a young Mike Booker and those cats. So they were bigger in range, but they were aggressive up front. They got their hands on you, especially being range. Barron was just Barron. He was to do something else, man. He was feisty. He was in your face. Cat quick, and explosive as far as that, and made plays. So if we can get aggressive with them to slow them down, it'll make a big difference. So, and then we'll minimize the long plays. But our safeties have to be in position to make plays and recover if they do go over top. Don't fall for stuff. But then, like I said, if they're falling for play action, that's because they're running the ball well. But if we minimize that, there's no need to fall for it.
Yeah, and see, I'm hoping to see like what we saw against Michigan State with the safeties. That interception they had off Thorne, his very first throw of the game, that was because the safety disguised where he was going.
And he was in perfect position.
Beautiful position. If Thorne never even saw him.
Now he waited for the ball to drop in his hands. He should have went and attacked it at the highest point, but we got the interception. So
yeah, I mean, we know how the game turned out. So
right.
It's still a hell of a play. And linebacker wise, Henrich, Dolman, I mean, holy hell. I'm looking for some big things out of these guys in this game. And they're, like you said, this has to be physical. Now, the play we've seen out of Henrich here lately, especially against Northwestern, going all madman, him and JoJo Doman. I mean, is this really a big thing? Is this new to them? Are they just business as usual?
No, I've always said since I've watched Doman, is he a senior this year or junior?
I think so.
Since I've watched him get on the field, it was like, dude makes plays. He's a football player.
Yes.
I've always said that. Now, Henrich, he's making plays. What's 28? Is it Reiner? How do you pronounce it?
Reimer. Oh my!
When he's out there, he
God.
can make plays. Nelson can make plays. But as far as, like I said, if we can keep them in space and let them make plays by getting that push up front to make Michigan uncomfortable, I think they can have a good game because they make tackles. There's not many tackles being broken.
Yeah. That's so a major improvement.
They tackle. So
how many times over the last 4 or 5, even 6 seasons have we bitched about missing tackles in the open field, and then it becomes a huge play or a touchdown, or it swings momentum in the other team's favor?
Bad tackling. That's what bad teams do. Bad tackling.
That's right.
Horrible teams are bad tacklers.
Florida in the Fiesta Bowl, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
horrible team.
That's what horrible tackling looks like.
Bad tackling makes the other team get points that they shouldn't have gotten because of tackling in position.
Exactly. I mean, let's face it, Frazier never should have got that touchdown. There's just no way that should ever happen. And it becomes one of the greatest plays in Husker history. I love it. Oh my God. All right. Now, special teams, I guess. I don't dive into stats on special teams. I don't like to, and I especially ain't going to do it this year. There's no point. Now, last couple weeks, other than a couple snafus at Michigan State, Culp looked good, didn't miss. And against Northwestern, they were solid. Yeah, no news is good news. So, do we need to worry if this comes down to needing Connor or needing our punt coverage team to make a play? Are we going to be worried, or do you think things have finally started to be fixed?
My Macaulay Culkin.
Dude.
I don't know. I'm going to go off of a refresh and say we're going to have a good special teams game like we had yesterday. Because it was such a good game to where we really didn't have to come on here with steam coming out of our heads. I'm going to keep the positive vibes. Yes, we will be okay. And I think we might do well with special teams. That's it.
I think everybody has just witnessed the most chilled and relaxed reaction we are ever going to have from our man, Kenny Cheatham.
That's it. I just don't want to jinx it, man. I just have to put my head down and say, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's just continue that.
I ain't going to lie. I still won't watch during extra points or field goals. I do what you just did. My head's down. I can't.
I cringe. I just look up to see if it's going to be 13-14 or something like that because we missed.
Yeah, I know. The crazy part is it's not just Connor Culp. It's all around college football. Numerous games I've watched every Saturday, and a kicker misses an extra point, horribly misses a field goal. I mean, it's like there's a bug going through all of college football when it comes to the kickers this year.
That's because those guys are their own people.
They really are, man.
They're different.
They get to do their own thing in practice. I mean, come on. Like you said, it was different when you played. Kickers had to do shit.
Yeah, it was different, you know. And then we had guys with attitude. We forget Chris Brown was an athlete, dude.
Yeah.
He played quarterback and safety in high school.
Damn.
That dude was aggressive. That dude was gonna hit you. Chris wasn't just a kicker.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of course I had Sealer and those guys. I was a young pup. But Chris, you know, even Josh and dudes, but Chris was a monster, man.
Chris had some swagger.
Chris was coming. You know what I mean? He was, yeah.
You don't see many kickers with swagger.
Yeah, and I think what happened with all these kickers, man, they tend to room with the traditional students, the regular students, and now more of the football players. Start having them be a roommate with some of the defensive players and the skill guys, the monsters, the linebackers. Maybe their attitude to change. Maybe get on and get home. Let them know, man. You need to be about your business, bro.
Yeah,
depending on you. I mean, you're not out there the whole game.
No.
We are. You're getting a certain amount of plays a game. Let's say max punter 10, max kicker, depending on if you're field goal, how many points you score, etc. Maybe 10, 12. But that's high, saying it. But that's all you're out there doing the game. And I'm out there 40, 50 plays.
Exactly.
You should be able to come out there and at least, if you're out there 10 times, make 9 of them, if not all 10. And that's it.
Now, the time I cut kickers slack is when they're trying to hit one from like over 50.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
You're dealing with all kinds of stuff, air, wind.
Yeah.
Spin, you know.
You got to worry about getting it up high enough so it ain't blocked. And then that's got to suck. I mean,
when it's an extra point, when it's a layup.
Yes, that's nothing.
A layup.
Yeah. Just like a chip shot, from the 15 or something. When you start missing those, then you're like, all right, what the fuck is your problem, kid?
Right. What's going on, dude?
There's something going on up here.
Too many cervezas the night before.
He caught the corona and it wasn't the virus.
Yeah, with a line.
Kenny's drink of choice. That's right.
The line, baby.
All right. Well, I mean, we kind of covered it all. Kind of easy to cover the skill positions on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see who can play, and that they're emerging. The defense, that's just a unit.
Right.
There's really, I mean, other than maybe JoJo Doman, I'm sorry, you can single him out because the motor don't stop.
Right.
But other than that, the defense is just an entire unit. It's hard to pick out just a single player that's having an unbelievable season.
Because each one of them plays well. It almost differs every game.
They do their job.
Well. Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to do is just do your job. Everybody takes care of everybody.
That's it.
And it's just like one of my favorite movies with Will Ferrell, Semi-Pro. Everybody love everybody.
With Jackie Moon?
Yes.
Jackie Moon.
Love Me Sexy. I love that movie, dude.
No free hot dogs. No hot dogs.
No, we ain't even got corn dogs.
Jackie Moon, man.
The Moonshot.
Yeah, man.
Oh, God, I love that movie. I'm so glad you know it. Not many people do. It's kind of an underrated movie. It's a cult classic, man.
Yeah, man.
People, if you ain't seen it and you're a fan of Will Ferrell, you got to see
Semi-Pro. Gotta check that out, man.
Andre 3000 being coffee black. Dude.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
God. Dude, Andre's a hell of an actor. He's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man.
All right. Well, we got to give our predictions, of course. We're in Lincoln. I'm not sure of the time of the game yet. Hopefully it's a night game.
Night game. I hope they make it a night game.
I hope it is, because this could be Frost. We've said it too.
Big one, signature win.
Yes. I mean, we've said it a few times already this season, and it's been so close. What do you got, Kenny?
As far as the score?
Let's hear the prediction, my friend.
Man.
You say you think it's going to be closer than people would think.
Yeah, I have, honestly, because that's putting too much faith in the kicker. I haven't been 27-20 Nebraska.
Ooh, black shirts holding them to 20.
Yeah.
I like that. Eliminating the big play. Yeah, if they can do that, absolutely. Then you make them try and dip and dunk, and I haven't seen Michigan do that a whole lot. So I like that. Ooh. I might put mine a little bit closer. I think I'm gonna put some faith in the kickers. I'm gonna go 31-27.
Okay. I can see that.
But I think at that score, I think we'll still have it in hand. I think we might be able to be in victory formation for the end of the game. So I hope I'm not overreaching on that. Hopefully. All right. So, end of the episode. Always gotta let everybody know where to find you, Kenny.
At Husker Nupe, HUSKERNUPE 1911 on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, guys, you know where to find me on Twitter at Knutson_Brian. Find me on Instagram on the Spinoff Pod or just my name. We got a Facebook page, everybody. Follow us, the Scarlet and the Cream Husker Podcast fan page. Check it out. We got our link to YouTube on there. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe. Help us out. Leave a comment if you're liking what we're doing. If you're not liking what we're doing, tell us. If you're not liking it, tell us. We'll figure it out.
Let me know.
Exactly. Let Kenny know. He'll absolutely discuss it with you.
You're absolutely right.
So, guys, you know the deal. We love you guys, Husker Nation. Thanks so much for the support. So, for myself, Mr. B, Brian Knutson, for former Husker wide receiver KC, Mr. Kenny Cheatham, gotta tell you, find us at the Scarlet Cream. And as always, go Big Red.
And we'll always stir a corn husker, the Scarlet.